Hey, Crave here. So, what are you even doing in game? I mean, until Blizzard decides to patch in something to introduce Legion, we've got months of waiting and nothing basically really new to play with. I mean, you could wait for BlizzCon and wait for the news and reveals, but beyond that, what do you do now with your chosen MMO? I mean, while waiting for a major patch. Well, I've got a few things here. I'm sure you might have heard of some of them, but I've got a few things here you can consider to tide you over until the next expansion hits. Yep, it is a completely viable option to consider, and this is what many people do in between releases, and it's a pretty good thing. I mean, for some people, WoW is the only game they play, and it's understandable. Most MMOs really suck you into the game and take time away from other options. Unsubbing gives you more time to try other games that you may have skipped. You could try older games or even current ones, so you've got role-playing games, RTSs, and basically other game genres that can await you. If you plan to stick to online games or MMOs or anything that still allows you to interact with internet people, consider the myriad of options available to you. So me, I'm still subbed with WoW, but I'm also trying WildStar and Warframe and a bunch of other games. Don't forget that WildStar is already free, basically just free to play right now, and it's a pretty good game. They've streamlined some of the introductory parts of the game and which basically kind of felt slow before. Now, Warframe's also a good option. It's not really massively multiplayer, although the chat in there is pretty much there's a lot of stuff going on in there. I have to say this about that game, that Warframe, and for a game that looks that good, it sure is well optimized. Frame rates are pretty much just up there, even with the high settings in a QHD resolution. Well, sticking with World of Warcraft isn't a bad choice either. I mean, the one thing you can do is make gold while the current setup allows you to make a whole lot of it. Garrison gold making methods will most likely go away in Legion, so take advantage of it. Maybe it'll be replaced with something also equally as convenient, but I'm not sure. Now keep in mind you're not limited to the Garrison. I mentioned some things in the gold making guide I made some months back. The stuff I mentioned there is pretty much current. So during my last weekly run of BOT, Firelands, and DS25 Heroic, I got about 5,000 to 6,000 gold. So it's still really good. And right now, the way things are, the way you're geared, especially if you're running Tanan, you're pretty much your gear level's really up there right now, and running through the heroics is just going to be really easy. So one thing about Tanan also is that it's still somewhat of a good place to make gold, especially with the chance to obtain the medallion of the Legion. They drop to around 3,000 to 4,000 gold as I do this video, but for the time spent in downing a rare, it's a pretty good investment. Now, one other thing is Fellblight. It's still pretty decent in terms of earning gold, unless you do need it for your crafting. And yeah, basically make that gold. And when doing that, it really helps you with two things. The first one is getting ahead when the expansion comes out. As you know, some stuff is going to be expensive in the auction house, so it's best that you have a whole lot of gold. And the second thing is having that gold allows you to purchase some in-game time via the token system. So it could be for a bunch of reasons why you want to purchase the token. Maybe you just want to do away with paying the monthly sub, or maybe you're sort of not sure whether the quality of Legion is going to be up there as with the previous expansions of World of Warcraft. So for whatever reason, you basically, when you have that gold, you can just go ahead and buy off your monthly subscription time via in-game gold. Now's really a good time to be leveling up your alts. Having alts gives you flexibility in Legion to play the character, or to have a chance of playing a character that Blizzard might tune to be a whole lot of fun, or to be, I guess, let's just be honest, might be overpowered. And in addition, alts and their professions make life a whole lot easier in the long term. If some of basically Draenor's garrison mechanic stays through in Legion, then alts will also mean a good way of making gold. Also, the last time I heard, Warlocks and Hunters are getting some pretty noticeable changes in the next expansion. So demo locks are, well, they're going to be basically summoners, and while Hunters get the long-awaited melee spec. So leveling up one right now allows you to quickly get up to speed on the class. So we're still waiting for BlizzCon, so that could also mean that other classes will see some changes. If you've only had one or two characters in your game, in this game, I suggest pushing certain characters up so that you can have more options when the next expansion hits. And yeah, basically there's a chance that more revisions to classes and specs will be done. But if that is true, then you might at least consider bringing all your alts to about level 60 to take advantage of the extra boost benefits. So remember, I hope they keep it true that when you do get the expansion, you get a free boost to one of your characters. So Warlords of Draenor had the profession benefits to boosted characters that were level 60 and up. So level up as many classes as you can, so to basically take advantage of whatever benefits that may come along with boosted characters. Finding mogs for your characters is one way to get through the game's basically what it is right now. It's downtime, and you know, when you do that, I suggest you just do your best to find the pieces that fits the look you want to have for your characters. It's going to fill up your inventory, but keep in mind that Blizzard might be implementing something in the next expansion that allows you to basically better manage all your collected gear. Now, here's to hoping they don't mess that one up, as you know. Sometimes my bank slots is just, well, actually it's just my bank slots is just filled with so much Mog gear. I'm not sure how what to do with them, but yeah, here's to hoping that really Blizzard pushes for that better system that handles our Mogs. But Mog hunting also allows you to see old content which you may have missed, and it also ties into the gold making tips I mentioned in my old video. Now, one other thing is that while Mog hunting, sometimes you get lucky with drops. So just like last week, for some reason I got I forgot the name of the mount, Flame Talon of Aliz Razor, I think that's how you call it. And you know, on the same week on another character, I also got the Pure Blood Firehawk thing. So you know, you never know. I mean, RNG is RNG, but if you get lucky, then hey, that's a good thing. So basically, just go out there and Mog. You often stare at your character. You often, I mean, given that it's behind, or maybe sometimes you want to just flip it around a bit and look at the front side of your character. I mean, you always stare at your character all the time. So why not, you know, make your character look better? This especially applies to those with multiple alts. Make sure to clean out your inventory for items you don't need. In my case, for example, my rogue, just recently I just started doing some house cleaning, and I noticed that the bank actually contains some plate items which my rogue would never get to use. So what I did for most of those items is that I basically just sold them, and for those BOEs, I sent them off to my plate characters. Now, one thing you can also do is finish up the quests in your logs that you didn't basically complete or skipped. It's a whole lot easier to continue a toon when you basically just have everything neat and organized. If you're not sure where to send off some of your gear, or maybe some mats, I'm not sure, and one of your characters is full. If you've never done it, consider making a bank alt for that particular realm. Also, if you like using add-ons, make sure to check your add-ons folder and delete the ones you no longer need. Maybe get new ones to refresh your experience of the game. Add-ons can, sometimes make a huge difference in how you play the game. Like what you're seeing right now. If you've seen my older video for basically how I set up ELP UI, I made some recent changes to how the UI interface will look, and this is what you're seeing right now. And it's basically it adds some excitement to the game. It's nothing major, but it's sort of that fresh look helps you, in a sense, appreciate the game even if there's nothing new happening. Yeah, so go ahead and check out maybe new add-ons and curse, or update your current add-ons. You'll if you're not sure of which add-ons to use, so go ahead, do some research, and you can also check the number of downloads or an add-ons rating and curse, so you know if it's a good one or not. And that's me sharing the stuff you can do while waiting for the launch of Legion. Now, I'm sure there are many other things you can do, like pet battles, arena, yeah, other stuff. But what I just mentioned is the stuff I plan to be doing while waiting for Legion, and maybe keeping my fingers crossed I can get into the beta, but that's really up to Blizzard. So anyway, if you do have other suggestions for everyone else, minus unsubbing from the game, just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you soon.